The Dallas Mavericks have struck once again with some more crazy talk, and it is Jason Kidd this time as he claims that Jaylen Brown is better than Jayson Tatum. Now, Jaylen Brown has obviously been fantastic in this playoffs, but him and Jayson Tatum complemented each other in various ways. With Jayson Tatum receiving so much hate throughout these playoffs, could Jason Kidd be right claiming that Jaylen Brown is better than Jayson Tatum? We'll be discussing all of that and more on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Velez. Before we dive in on all of this Boston Celtics news, though, if you guys do enjoy the content, I'd like to ask for you guys to hit that like button as we try something new. Without further ado, though, let's dive into the video at hand. Make sure to grab a snack. And as the introduction suggested, we're going to be talking first about Jason Kidd. And unfortunately, he's had some unpleasant things to say about this Boston Celtics team. So if we want to look at this first quote here from Kari A. Thompson, shout out to Kari. He does a fantastic job covering the Boston Celtics for the Boston Globe. But he, like many others, are at the Celtics media day, and following the practice, Jason Kidd was asked what makes going against Jaylen Brown so tough, and he said that he is the Celtics' best player. Now, I do want to give Jaylen Brown some credit. He is definitely deserving of that max contract and is for sure a top-tier two-way player. But I do not think that he is for sure the Celtics' best player. In the playoffs, he might be playing at his best, but Jayson Tatum has been getting snubbed in all serious ways. Now, to quote Kari as well, to finish Jason Kidd's quote, he did also add that he is one of the best two-way players, and that what makes him difficult for the Boston Celtics to go after. But I want to agree with our guys from Celtics blog over here, saying that it's basically boomering the narrative to play mind games. It doesn't matter at all who is the best player, not one little bit. And I have to totally agree with that scenario. If we want to look at Jaylen Brown's stats so far in the playoffs this season, we can see he's averaging 24.8 points, 6.1 rebounds, and 2.8 assists in 15 games. When we look at Jayson Tatum's stats, we can see that he is averaging 25.3 points, 10.4 rebounds, and 5.9 assists in 15 games in the playoffs, which goes to show you that both players are playing at very similar stats and very similar playabilities and are still succeeding for the Boston Celtics. And we've mentioned in the past in these videos talking about this Boston Celtics team that this team does not need to play hero ball. We have seen in the past years, in 2021, 2022, 2023, where Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown single-handedly had to score 40, 45 points to win these games. And don't get me wrong, Marcus Smart was my favorite Boston Celtic, the heart and soul of this team, the really aggressive, all-out, nasty defensive point guard that could really lock in and be that third scorer. But ultimately, on a championships team, he wasn't that third best player. He's a fourth or a fifth best player, and the Celtics didn't have that third best guy. Similarly with when you're talking about some other guys that they had, Robert Williams, Grant Williams, Malcolm Brogdon, they had good role-playing pieces, but they didn't have that third star punch or that fourth star punch. And if Jayson Tatum or Jaylen Brown had a bad game, which wasn't always common, but if it did happen, the Celtics would lose or it would be a close contest, and you would be frustrated because a third star could not step up. And now with this team, with this Boston Celtics squad, we have seen throughout the playoffs, guys like Porziņģis coming back from injury, stepping up in Game 1 in the finals. Guys like Al Horford, when Porziņģis goes down, stepping up and staying ready to being that starting big man to really take over, hitting threes, but also being a big perimeter paint-based as well. When looking at Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, both of these guys have really transferred, taken over as these dynamic wings for the Boston Celtics this year, really growing in their games. Jayson Tatum has specifically worked on, his mid-range game and his ability to be a playmaker and a facilitator, which we've seen throughout the playoffs this season, including in Game 1. People are hating saying Jayson Tatum had a bad game in Game 1. He did not. Those are stat watchers. Those are people that see his 16 points and his 11 rebounds and go, oh, he doesn't do nothing. He created so many second chance opportunities by getting offensive rebounds. There was one key play where I saw that Jayson Tatum gave a perfect pass to Porziņģis from the three-point range. Porziņģis took a three, hit off the front of the rim. Tatum runs, grabs the rebound, dishes it back to Porziņģis, who's cutting, and he gets an easy slam on the rim. Those type of effort plays are what makes the Celtics get the wins. And Jayson Tatum also played fantastic on the defensive side. Now, this is obviously not Jaylen Brown. I don't want to take Jaylen Brown any credit away. He has really transformed and really transpired into this second star for the Boston Celtics this season and is fully 100%, ladies and gentlemen, 100% worth every single penny that Brad Stevens gave him. And I was saying this before they even gave him the contract. The rumors of him going for Ben Simmons and all these random names throughout the years, Kevin Durant, Donovan Mitchell, Bradley Beal. No, Jaylen Brown is that two-way wing. He excels on the defensive side. Clearly in game one, he showed that, getting 3 steals and 3 blocks for the Boston Celtics and really contributing on those stocks to help out with the stock exchange in Derrick White and Jrue Holiday, excuse me. But he's really transformed, being snubbed from the all defensive team, being snubbed from an all NBA team. It really has fueled him and it fueled this fire underneath Jaylen Brown. And I really, really like what I'm seeing coming out of him in these playoffs because he has really transformed and really proven to the haters. Everybody's saying, oh, he doesn't have a left hand. Oh, we can't dribble. Oh, we can't do this. Proving everybody truly wrong in that way. But ultimately, Jason Kidd, I don't know what you really get out of coming with this. Saying that Jaylen Brown's so tough, he's their best player. I get it. You're trying to maybe spark Jayson Tatum up, trying to spark some outrise. But the national media has already slandered Jayson Tatum. They've already come at his neck. They've already basically just wanted to strangle him and just take him out. So, I mean, yes. We already discussed. Sorry, I kind of forgot to bring that up. But yeah, we discussed. And again, Mavericks fans on Twitter keep saying that Jayson Tatum isn't that great of a player. Jayson Tatum discourse is high. Look at this from the Twitter, or from the Reddit, excuse me. Jayson Tatum's getting quadruple teamed. And there was another play that I saw as well, which in a breakdown where Jayson Tatum was driving to the rack. Kyrie had to come help over, which left a perfect Derrick White open in the corner with 3 guys collapsing and he passed out. I want to give a shout out to Celtics Riley as well and all over those people over on Twitter because he's been going at it with a Mavericks person on Twitter, and they said, "Oh yeah, they're not double teaming. I'll bring down some game film to help you show you that the Mavericks aren't double teaming. Look, 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 Mr. Mavericks guy. I can clearly see it with my bright eyes right there." And then, kind of talking about Jason Kidd as more, he said in the matter of 5 minutes here at the podium, he said that Jayson Tatum is one of the best offensive players in the world, and Jaylen Brown is the Celtics' best player. So I guess Boston must be a dominant group, which is kind of crazy to say that Jaylen Brown's our best player, but Jayson Tatum is the best offensive player in the world, one of the best offensive players in the world. So he truly values Jaylen Brown's defense. Again, Jason Kidd valuing Jaylen Brown's defense, and Jaylen Brown snubbed from making an all defensive team. Absolutely ridiculous. Before we head out, I do want to just say that Jason Kidd also had to talk about Kristaps Porziņģis, courtesy of Noah Dalzell, who again does a fantastic job covering. Shout out to Noah and shout out to Shane Young and Kari for posting that as well. And shout out to Kari here as well for giving us this nice content to bring to you guys. But Noah talked about Jason Kidd bringing down Porziņģis as well, saying we got to make it tougher on him. And I agree. Porziņģis was in his bag early on. Really running Jaden Hardy and Josh Green on these mismatches was kind of a boneheaded move by Jason Kidd. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm very happy that the Celtics were able to use that, but I would like to see Porziņģis again used in this offense here and defense here for the Boston Celtics. Didn't really get that much run in the second half, and when he did, he wasn't used as effective and as an effective scorer as much. He only got 2 more points in the second half. I'd like to see more of a complete game from him, but in the first half, he was fantastic. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. How you guys feeling about Jason Kidd calling out Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, basically, and then talking about Kristaps Porziņģis. I think it's a little bit crazy, a little bit blasphemous from this coming out of Jason Kidd. Like, slow your roll, calm down. Once again, Jaylen Brown is a fantastic two-way player. So is Jayson Tatum. But I necessarily don't think that either one of them is 100% better than the other. They both bring things that either don't. Jaylen Brown brings that drive ability, that scoring ability at the rack, that defensive prowess, while Jayson Tatum also brings all of that while scoring at the mid-range and being a mid-range killer, while also, being able to shoot that 3 ball at an effective rate. And Jaylen Brown can still do those things that Jayson Tatum can do, and Jaylen Brown can still do the things that Jayson Tatum can do. They can both coincide and do each other's skill sets, but really they excel in each other's opposite skill sets, which really shows for the domination of this team and for the improvement in this season. So let me know how you guys think down below. And lastly, before we head out, as you guys know, comment of the day. Drop down your comments. Drop down how you're feeling down below so you can be picked for the comment of the day. Today's comment of the day is going out to Gemini Jeff. Jeff, shout out to you for commenting down below saying ball movement and point again, too much defense, talking about our game one reaction, saying people don't talk about it enough, but the biggest mismatch was the coaching. And exactly, Jason Kidd had no stops for Kristaps Porziņģis, and ultimately the only run that the Mavericks really had was in that third quarter in the beginning where they brought the lead back down to 8. But besides that, the Celtics woke up out of that spunk offensively and really came and brought their defensive back. You mentioned the defense was on point, the ball movement was on point, and it for sure was. There are plenty of times where Jeff and I have talked in the live streams where they got perfect ball movement around the three-point line, and it was perfect. But the defense there was incredible as well. The Celtics had 9 blocks compared to the Mavericks 1. Crazy. 15 stocks compared to their 8 on steals and blocks. You love to see that. Goes to show you that this team works hard on the defensive side alongside the offensive side, and that this defense will win a championship. This defense will prove if this team can win a championship, because they have to guard guys like Luka Doncic and Kyrie in the clutch, and if they can successfully do that in Game 1, I think they can do it successfully throughout the series. But once again, let me know how you guys feel down below. Once again, we will be live tomorrow, Sunday night, with another live watch-along for Game 2 of the NBA Finals. So come join us for that. It was a fantastic time on Thursday night. We hit records. We greatly appreciate it. We also hit 4,000 subscribers. So if you guys are new, if you guys are still at this point of the video and are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate everybody that already hit that subscribe button. It was our goal to hit 4K subscribers by the end of the playoffs, and we got to that goal. So I want to say shout out to everybody that has hit that subscribe button. Once again, I'm Bruce Veliz. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode here on Celtics Digest, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.